should never buy these figures ever. Starting off as any of the Iron Man figures, obviously some of these are going to be an over exaggeration, just like this one. I hate the fact they have these batteries. If you are going to buy these figures, personally I say you learn how to do soldering and all this stuff, because if you look at this images I have here, this is what I had to do to make the Iron Man work. I had to get a USB cable, cut it, solder it onto the Iron Man, just so his lights would stay on whenever I wanted them to, because otherwise you're going to spend lots of money buying these stupid little batteries that die out within 15 minutes. Personally, it's not worth it. You could also go through the option of buying like kits that people sell on Instagram, but like the kits look horrible, the wires are everywhere, it just looks really ugly. Personally, I say you just take the time, get a soldering kit, get some wire, get some USB cables, snip that shit. It'll only take you like an hour at most. That's how long it took me to do mine, and your figures will look way better. Just make sure you get the right voltage and everything like that, so you can get a good high quality Iron Man figure that won't die out on you, that'll look amazing, have so much presence on your shelf. After that, I say you never buy these Deadpool figures, specifically for the fact that they're mass producing them, wanting so much money from it. Personally, I don't think not many people are gonna buy these, let's be real, unless you're trying to build a diorama for it. I can see people buying the Flame On one, you know, the Human Torch, Chris Evans, obviously. That one, I even like. That one's really sick. Obviously, people are gonna buy the Wolverine and the Deadpool, maybe even the Gambit. But let's be real, Elektra, Blade. I mean, Blade, I guess, but I can see no reason to like, if people buy these, they're gonna mass produce them even more and do more of these annoying figures that they're just wasting time on, when they could be making better figures and not delaying the figures we already have. Personally, I think it's just a waste of money to spend your money on this, and it's just a waste of time because you're also waiting and obviously you're working longer so you can get these dumb figures that are just personally a quick cash grab for them, which I'm seeing that, I mean, there probably is passion to it, but let's be real, it's more of a cash grab. No need to have these figures when they could just be making better figures for different shows like Arcane, like, you know, random DC characters that people have been asking for. Just don't feed their like, you know, don't feed their wallets. Personally, that's what I think. Lastly, it's these specific Spider-Man figures that are just way too stiff, and just figures like this Deadpool right here. I know I talked about Deadpool figures last time, but this Deadpool figure right here, the material is really bad and it gets worn out. The Deadpool 1 figure I'm talking about, this is that one. Their material when they made these was just not good. It wore out if you pose them that long. I know you're supposed to not pose Hot Toys, but let's be real, we all want to pose them. I've been leaving my figures in the pose the entire time. I know they're fine, they're not getting worn. If you're wondering what figures I have, these are the ones. Yes, I built the diorama by myself. It's really cool. I could probably do a video on how I did that later on if you guys really want me to. I say don't buy these older figures. Wait for newer versions to drop so you can spend money on those. Obviously, Spider-Man 2, like if you're a Spider-Man fan and you're buying figures like that, wait for them to drop. Star Wars fans, just buy your figures, man. They're all perfect. I have to be honest, the Star Wars figures are all perfectly made. The cloaks are so good. No worry, there's no complaints on the Star Wars like part of it. All the Alien figures are great. All the DC ones, from what I've seen, are great. Maybe the Flash ones aren't going to be that good because of the rubber suits. And I think some of the Batman ones are also rubber, so those aren't like that good. I know some of the Superman ones are made out of cloth, so those are pretty fine. They have good mobility and everything. But I'm mostly talking about the older Spider-Man suits, but they're just so bad. They have no mobility. You pose them, they'll get torn. It's just very rough. So I say don't buy those, personally, and also the Deadpool one, because, you know, it'll get all torn up and stuff. I say don't buy those. And lastly, this one is a personal grudge on my part. It's this Carnage figure right here. If you use tendrils way too much, it will, like, they made the tendrils out of cheap plastic, obviously, like, I know, but like, I'm spending $500 on this figure. I want to be able to use those tendrils. If you spread the tendrils too much and put them in too much of a dynamic pose, the weight of the tendrils will actually rip the middle part apart. I just said the part 2 times. But it'll rip it apart and you'll have to hot glue it together. It's like they didn't make the plastic on the inside strong enough to hold the weight of all the 30 tentacles going different ways, which is very stupid on their part. Also, the thing tends to go downward, so maybe posing your Carnage with no tendrils might be the move, but like, who the hell wants to do that? Right now, my current solution was just dumping it with hot glue and leaning it against the wall so it doesn't, you know, to the wall can take some of the weight of the, you know, tendrils. Personally, I say you don't have to buy this figure. I know it's really cool, but let's be real, you don't really have to buy it. You can spend your money on this new Venom coming out, the other Venom coming out, the more finished Venoms. If I had the choice, I would probably get rid of my Carnage. She is really sick though. I most likely won't get rid of my Carnage, but we'll see. But yeah, those are the figures I think you should never buy and my reasoning for them. If you enjoyed this video or you have your own like little pet peeves about figures, feel free to drop it in the comments and let me know which ones they are. Dude, I am just messing up my words all around here. But I hope you guys have a great day, and if you guys would do me a huge favor and like and subscribe, that would be greatly appreciated. All right, peace.